Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to a beautiful Wednesday here in Westman. Today I think is going to be my first major tomato harvest. I'm going to go around and grab basically everything that's even showing any signs of red. There are a couple of reasons for this. Primarily, I found a whole bunch of tomato-based recipes I want to try. I need to know what I've got available to work with. Followed up closely by I want to get the ripe things off of these plants to allow anything else that's on there that's not ripe yet to get that energy, hopefully finish up before the season does. Because yeah, we're getting some pretty cold nights here, and I'm just not sure how much longer we've got. So I thought I'd bring you guys along. We'll do a weigh-in and get a couple pictures along the way. Check out some of the cherry tomatoes and the yellow tomatoes, and you know, the tomatoes. So yeah, let's go. Starting this little curved raised bed garden here. From this angle you can't see too many, but there are, I don't know, maybe half a dozen little ripe red cherry tomatoes. But even now the leaves are falling all around me. So yeah, I'll get started. We'll check back when I move to the next location. Well, that's not a massive start, is it? But considering like 2 months ago this was a pile of sticks and these things were stuffed all into a single styrofoam cup, I'll take it. That's already more than I was expecting from this garden. So while I am first pillaging for the cherry types, that means these pear tomatoes can come in. Manitoba's almost qualified this year, but not quite. I'll grab them in the next tray. Like I said, anything that's even remotely red and can finish ripening up inside, coming in today. That still leaves a surprising number of green mini pear tomatoes on this plant, and I say surprising because it's the one in the fabric planter, and you can tell by these two larger varieties that hasn't necessarily been a good thing for them. I'll be back for you in a minute though. Cherry types. Here's what we're looking at from just that one plant though. Get back over there. And then, you know, others, but yeah, we'll get back to it. Gotta grab these broad ripple yellow currants. I'm not quite sure how they're gonna work with these recipes that call for, you know, bright red tomatoes. Undoubtedly going to change my color on me a little bit, but I don't care that much. It's about flavor, right? So, alright. And I have to admit, I'm feeling a little inspired by Simon there at 50 Shades of Green. Did some tomato canning recently. Got me quite in the mood now. Oh, look at this sweet 100, hey? Yeah, I'm going to need both hands for this guy. Here's that smaller sweet 100, and of course a fresh gust of wind. Still got a couple little tomatoes on there, so I'll still pull a few more off of this before the season is done. Definitely a few more on that sweet 100s. The broad ripple currants looking great, and I'm still coming through here for larger tomatoes as well. But we've got the grape, another grape, there's a pear up there, there's a pear over there. So yeah, that's what we're looking at now. Decent little start. I'd have to say this one little bush, well, vine, tomato plant, whatever, up right beside the unpronounceables from Rob Bob there, has definitely produced the largest and most pear-like looking tomatoes. So that's something interesting. Not a lot of ripe ones on here, but I'm grabbing the almost ripe ones too. Here is the cherry collection. Time to get the other tray, start grabbing the bigger tomatoes. Could put them all together, but I don't want to crush them until I'm, you know, crushing them. So we're out here with a fresh bin now to start harvesting some of these larger tomatoes. These are the celebrity hybrids that we're growing in the Grove. And so far, it doesn't look like there's any blossom end rot issues on those ones. That looks okay. That looks scuffed, but okay. All right. Well, I did end up having to leave this one behind. Not too happy about that little puncture in there. But that's from the Grove celebrity, so not bad. I'll go through here. Figure you guys don't need to see each and every one as we go. Might stop over at the Indigo Rose though. And then we'll get to the bunker. I was able to grab a few of these Indigo Rose off of there. Not too many because they have to get that red on the vine first. This one, not worth it to grab early, but hang on. There's a look inside that. For those of you who are curious, nice pinky red flesh, a very delicious tomato. Yeah, well worth growing if you can get your hands on the seeds for these. Well worth it indeed. Got a very nice lemon boy in there too. Not a whole lot from that, but I'm sure we'll add to that with the bunker garden. The bit that I'm unsure about with the bunker garden is how many of these will be free from blossom end rot. Those two look okay. Here's a nice, not quite ripe example off that celebrity hybrid. Again, it looks like that's the original tomatoes that seem to be suffering from the blossom end rot issues, and the ones farther up, I almost want to call it a tree at this point, do seem to be doing better. I mean, maybe it's ones that were resting on the ground, so it's kind of that moisture caused the issue. I don't know. Let's check this one here. How does that look? It looks good to me. So lots of tomatoes on here, but not necessarily, come on, off for daddy. Yeah, lots of tomatoes on here, but not necessarily a lot of ripe ones yet. Oh, look at this monster. Are you still good? Are you still good? Are you still good? Still good. All right, you're coming in. Fantastic. Now here's one. This one's kind of resting on the ground. So let's see how its bottom is. See, there you go. So it would seem like blossom end rot, but at the same time, it seems to be only occurring on the ones that are on the ground. So it could just be rot. Good old-fashioned moisture rot. Anyway, I'm going to grab my scissors, get this big one off, and it looks like there might be another one hiding in there. Alright, so not the world's most ginormous harvest of tomatoes by any means, but you know what, I'm really happy with it. It's only the first harvest of the season, like significant tomato harvest of the season, and I'm bringing in color. I'm not bringing in green tomatoes, so hopefully that means I'll be able to bring in more color at the end of the season harvest. And this certainly isn't enough tomatoes to do all of the recipes that I've been looking at. One of them calls for a peck of tomatoes. A peck. Who the hell measures things in pecks anymore? Turns out that's like 32 cups. 32 cups of tomatoes. Okay, why don't you just say it? Or give me a weight, you know, however many pounds or kilograms of tomatoes that is a peck. I had to go to Google to figure out what the heck that was. Anyway, let's take this inside, hit it with the scale, find out what we brought in for this year's first tomato harvest, and then, yeah, it's probably going to be a wrap up for this video, but you'll see these tomatoes again on the kitchen channel in the coming weeks and months as I kind of space out the various things that I'm going to try and do with them. Yeah, so inside to the kitchen scale. Oh, the tray looks so dirty once you bring it in the house, but I guess we're going to get started weighing up these cherry tomatoes first here. If I can turn this on with one hand. The dog is choosing now to have his lunch, but that's cool. Come on, turn on. Don't tell me the battery's died. There we go. Okay, wait for that to tear. Start piling these on. It does seem like a lot more tomatoes in the house, but anyway, still not quite as much as I was expecting. Definitely the cherry tomatoes were the payout this year. Gonna focus way more on smaller fruit size for next year and future gardens. The celebrity hybrid did seem to be, let's see if we can just pour these at this point, did seem to be a good size without being too big, so that's not bad. Alright, nice colorful pile. 564 grams of cherry tomatoes, nice. So that's what, 1 1/4 pounds, give or take. Not bad. And we've got our larger varieties here. The one and only Lemon Boy, for all of those plants out there, what's that weigh? 104 grams, not bad. Start adding the rest of these on. I wonder if they're all going to fit in this bowl. Kind of becomes the next question. Not sure how well I thought this plan out. And actually, now that I'm looking at this, I totally forgot to grab the Sweet Aroma hybrids. So that means that out in the potato-tomato bunker, there are still more red, ripe tomatoes for me to gather a little bit later. I might have to weigh this in to... now I'm starting to feel sorry for the guys at the produce department. We've got to do all those stackings. Yeah, okay, we're going to weigh this in 2 sections. That one there is 1703, and we'll just weigh up the rest of these. Shouldn't be too much. For 1703, that's like 1.7 kilograms. So that's near 4 pounds. I knew the tomatoes were going to be a good part of my 100-pound goal. And here we have another 575. Alright. that really isn't so bad. Alright, so here we have the sum total of the harvest, some 2.7 kilograms. I don't know, 5-6 pounds, somewhere in that neighborhood. Not enough to do all the recipes like I was saying, but definitely enough for me to get started trying a few things. There's a tomato fritter I want to try. It's kind of interesting. Basically, it's like a battered fried tomato like you'd see zucchini or whatever. And there's tomato butter. It calls for one nice ripe red tomato, so that I can clearly get started on. There's a few things be worth checking out. So yeah, those will be coming up on the Bear in the Kitchen channel in the coming weeks and months. Alright, cool. Thanks for joining me, everybody. This has been an interesting and revealing sort of day. A bit of a harvest, a little bit of fun. I've got a lot of fun lined up now in my horrible kitchen. But it still cooks, so who cares? Like the way I grow the food, like the way I cook the food. It doesn't matter how it looks, it matters how it tastes. And on that note, I will see you guys tomorrow.